A young man is on a small boat in the middle of a wide blue ocean, holding hands with a woman he feels deeply connected to. But suddenly, three people with cold and emotionless faces grab him and push him into the water, and he starts drowning. Just when it feels real, he suddenly wakes up in panic, and we learn this man is Lincoln 6. He opens his eyes inside a bright white room, and a digital screen above his bed politely wishes him good morning, as if his whole life is controlled by machines. Another screen on the wall reminds him that he must report to the Tranquility Center for his daily health check. Even the toilet scans his urine and warns him that he has too much sodium and should control his diet, showing us that even his body is monitored. Lincoln wears a tracking bracelet on his wrist, and when he moves it near a drawer, it unlocks automatically, revealing identical white clothes like a uniform. When he walks outside his room, we see many other people dressed exactly like him in white tracksuits, all living inside this huge underground facility. They quietly walk together into an elevator, and as it goes down, hologram screens on the walls show a beautiful green island surrounded by clean blue water. The residents are constantly reminded that the outside world was destroyed by contamination, and the only safe place left on Earth is that island. And the only way to go there is by winning a weekly lottery, where one lucky person gets chosen to leave the facility forever and live in paradise. Just then, the loudspeaker announces this week's winner, Starkweather 2 Delta. His smiling face appears on the screens as he happily talks about how he always dreamed of going to the island. Everyone claps as if this is the greatest honor. When Lincoln steps out of the elevator, we see more of the facility where people follow strict routines like yoga, exercise, swimming, and scheduled meals, while guards in black tracksuits watch them carefully from every corner. Even though the residents are treated kindly and given food and shelter, their lives are completely controlled with rules about what to eat, how to behave, and even how close they can stand to each other. Later in the cafeteria, Lincoln scans his bracelet and asks for bacon, but the nutritionist refuses, saying it is not good for him. His close friend Jordan 2 Delta watches carefully and then cleverly flatters the nutritionist to get bacon for herself.
Watch and learn.
We missed you. That's nice of you to say, sweetheart. Get you anything else?
Maybe a little bacon.
Thank you.
Back on your diet.
Well, you better eat up. You're gonna need all your strength tonight.
As guards warn them not to stand too close together, she secretly slides her bacon onto Lincoln's plate before walking away, showing they care about each other but must hide it. After that, Lincoln visits Dr. Merrick, the head doctor of the facility, who calmly questions him about his growing friendship with Jordan and reminds him about the proximity rules that limit personal bonds. He also asks about Lincoln's strange dream, and Lincoln honestly admits he has started questioning everything. He wonders why life is so repetitive, like tofu every Tuesday night, why they can only wear white clothes, why they must wait their entire lives just hoping to win the lottery, and whether there is more to life than this routine. Dr. Merrick gently tells him he is lucky to be alive because the earth outside is toxic and only the island is safe. He also explains that the staff, including himself, can never enter the lottery because they must stay behind to keep the facility running. Then he straps Lincoln into a medical chair and places tiny sensor devices near his eye that crawl inside to collect data for 24 hours before leaving through his urine. Later, Lincoln goes to his assigned job in the work center, where he and another resident named Jones 3 Echo use special tools to pump nutrients through tubes that help prepare meals for everyone. Lincoln feels bored and empty doing the same task every day, while Jones seems satisfied with his simple life. Suddenly, the peaceful routine breaks when a pregnant woman named Lima 1 Alpha collapses and goes into labor. Instead of fear, the other women celebrate, because pregnancy means she will be sent to the island with her baby, which they believe is a wonderful future. But Lincoln begins feeling that something does not make sense. Later, he secretly visits a restricted power plant area where his friend James McCord works as a technician. There, Lincoln discovers a live moth flying inside a ventilation shaft, which shocks him because if the outside world is truly contaminated, then how is a living insect surviving? He carefully catches the moth and hides it inside a small box. That evening, he shows the bug to Jordan and explains that if a moth can survive, then maybe the world outside is not poisoned at all, and maybe they are being lied to. Jordan feels confused and thinks Lincoln is overthinking because their lives seem safe and organized. But Lincoln cannot shake the feeling that something dark is hidden behind the clean white walls of their home. Soon the lights dim and giant hologram screens light up again as everyone gathers for the weekly lottery announcement. The familiar speech begins about hope and destiny and a lucky resident going to the island. And as the spinning selection starts once again, all eyes watch with excitement while Lincoln quietly questions whether the island is truly paradise or something far more disturbing. When the spinning lottery finally stops, the hologram flashes the name Jordan 2 Delta, and the entire hall explodes with cheers and applause, while she just stands there, frozen in shock. Lincoln feels his heart sink, because this means he is about to lose the only person he truly cares about, and once again he was not chosen to go to the so-called island. He gently touches her arm to say goodbye, but a supervisor quickly steps in and separates them for breaking the proximity rule. That night, Lincoln sees the same drowning nightmare again and suddenly wakes up sweating. He looks at the small moth he captured earlier, and an idea forms in his mind: if this insect is alive, then maybe the world outside is not dead. So he secretly sneaks through the facility into Sector 6 and releases the moth. He follows it quietly through restricted hallways until it leads him into a medical area he has never seen before. He quickly hides inside a storage closet, finds a blue medical coat, and wears it to blend in. As he walks carefully through the medical center, he looks through a glass window and sees Lima 1 Alpha giving birth to her baby, but instead of celebrating, a doctor suddenly injects her with something and she starts shaking violently before dying right there on the table. Lincoln is horrified as a nurse carries the newborn baby into another room and hands the child to a wealthy couple, and the woman looks exactly like Lima 1 Alpha. At that moment, Lincoln understands that something is terribly wrong. He then sees Starkweather 2 Delta lying unconscious on an operating table, and just as surgeons prepare to cut open his chest, he suddenly wakes up confused and terrified and tries to escape. Guards chase him through the hallway and shoot him down without mercy, while Lincoln hides and watches in shock. Soon, Dr. Merrick reviews the security footage and realizes that someone disguised in a lab coat witnessed everything, and he quickly identifies Lincoln 6 Echo. Alarms ring throughout the compound and orders are given to capture him immediately. Knowing Jordan will be next, Lincoln rushes to the female residential section and finds her. He desperately explains that there is no island, that the lottery is fake, and that winners are killed so their organs can be removed for other people. At first, she cannot believe it, but when he describes Lima and Starkweather's deaths, she finally understands the truth and agrees to run with him. Guards chase them through tight corridors and service tunnels, but they manage to escape through an underground exit and reach the outside world for the first time in their lives. They stand in shock seeing the open sky, rocky land, and distant city lights. They breathe the air easily with no sickness at all, and when they see a living snake crawling nearby, they realize the earth is not contaminated and everything they were told was a lie. Back inside the facility, the announcer lies to the remaining residents, saying Lincoln was quarantined due to contamination exposure and Jordan safely traveled to the island. Meanwhile, the real truth is revealed when Dr. Merrick gives a secret presentation to rich clients explaining that the facility is actually a cloning company that grows human clones called agnates. These agnates are exact biological copies of their sponsors created to provide replacement organs whenever the original person becomes sick, and female clones can also carry babies for their sponsors if needed. He falsely claims the clones are kept without real thoughts or feelings and are nothing more than products. After the meeting, Dr. Merrick hires a mercenary named Albert Laurent to track down Lincoln and Jordan because if the public finds out the clones are fully conscious humans, the entire operation will be shut down. He explains that finding Jordan 2 Delta is urgent because her sponsor Sarah Jordan is in a coma after a car accident and will die within 3 days without organ transplants, which explains why she won the lottery. At the same time, Lincoln and Jordan manage to find James McCord at a bar, and he secretly takes them to his home where he tells them the painful truth that they are clones grown for spare body parts, their childhood memories and stories about contamination are just implanted memories to keep them calm and obedient. He explains their names too. Lincoln and Jordan are the last names of their sponsors. Echo means Lincoln has been alive for 3 years, while Delta means Jordan has been alive for 4. The number 6 represents Los Angeles, where Lincoln's sponsor Tom Lincoln lives, and the number 2 represents New York, where Sarah Jordan lives. After hearing everything, Lincoln and Jordan decide they must find their sponsors and expose the truth to the world. McCord gives them maps, cash, credit cards, and one final warning that in the real world they should not trust anyone, because even normal humans may betray them. At the same time, Albert Laurent tracks Lincoln and Jordan using the medical sensors inside Lincoln's body, and his team storms McCord's house, killing him. But Lincoln and Jordan escape on a train to Los Angeles to find Lincoln's sponsor, Tom Lincoln. When they reach his mansion, the security system scans Lincoln's retina and lets them in, because he is an exact match. Tom appears and is shocked to see his own face standing in front of him. He admits he has severe liver damage and that Lincoln was created as his backup for organs. The clones beg him to expose the institute, and he pretends to help but secretly calls Dr. Merrick to report them. Jordan senses the betrayal, and soon Laurent attacks their car. During the chaos, Lincoln cleverly switches his tracking bracelet onto Tom's wrist and copies his accent, confusing Laurent, who then shoots the bracelet wearer, killing the real Tom by mistake.
I'm Tom Lincoln. Shut up! I'm Tom Lincoln! I'm Tom Lincoln! Shit. Close.
Back at the Institute, Merrick learns that newer clones are developing real thoughts due to memory imprints from sponsors, so he orders a mass lottery recall to secretly terminate many of them, including Jones 3 Echo. Lincoln decides to destroy the hologram control center to reveal the truth and disguises himself as Tom to re-enter the facility while Jordan allows herself to be captured. Laurent begins doubting the mission after seeing the clones fight to live. Inside the Institute, Jordan escapes before surgery.
Give me your walkie!
And reunites with Lincoln. Meanwhile, selected clones are locked inside an incineration chamber, but Jordan and Laurent force security to shut it down.
Away! It's going to the island!
Open the door!
Lincoln confronts Dr. Merrick near the reactor, and after a violent struggle, he shoots him. The reactor overloads, destroying the hologram system.
My name is Lincoln.
The fake illusion of contamination disappears, and the surviving clones finally walk out into the real world, realizing they were never products but human beings who were lied to their entire lives.